Welcome back for Week 6, everyone. Lit Sports Online. We're continuing doing the NFL picks against the spread, and Gerald and Chris have some announcements to make.
So first and foremost, if you look to the bottom corner of the screen, you'll notice that the LitTube logo is pink. We are honoring breast cancer awareness and the survivors and fighters out there. Members of our families, of course, have fought this horrible disease, and we're looking to support them. We have links in the below that you can donate and help out with the cause.
Yep, so like I said, we're supporting a cause that is near and dear to us, to all of us, part of the LitTube family, and to you guys at home. Now, to lead us into the video, before we start, let's just start by congratulating myself. I got my first win in fantasy football this week.
About time.
I know, I'm 1-4, so I'm not like the Giants. I'm not 0-5. But I did want to start off by just saying thank you guys at home for, one, watching and subscribing. I think since week 1, we've almost doubled, if not tripled, the amount of views that we've been getting on this video, which either mean one of three things. One, the videos are just getting better as far as content. All of us are getting more comedic or funny, or I'm just getting more handsome as the year goes. But you pick what you want, and we'll stick with it. Like I said, we'll keep the entertainment coming. But
yeah, all right, whatever.
All right.
Hopefully your picks are as good.
All right, so that's where we're going to lead off. We're going to go for the recap. So starting at the beginning of Week 6, Gerald is in first. He has made himself back in first again by one game at 36-39-2. He picked against the Ravens. He picked against his own team. I think there was one other game where me and Justin sided with that you didn't. So if you would have picked your home team, you'd have a 2-game lead. I'm one game behind at 35-40-2. I was the only person that picked the Chargers to cover. They won straight out. Or straight up, and I picked the Bears to cover, which they did. And then Justin in third place. He's 3 games back of first. He's at 33-42-2. He did pick the Rams to cover, which they did not, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other games. But that's where we lead off at the beginning of Week 6.
Oh, sucks to suck. Just kidding.
Sounds like we all need to start making
I know, right?
So that leads us into our Thursday night game. We have Philadelphia going to Carolina. Philly is a +3 on the road. We just got word, I believe, Devin Funchess for Carolina is not playing. So that's one injury on their side, as well as obviously we know Greg Olson's out for the year. But Philly +3 on the road. Justin, how do you feel? I think it's going to be raining tonight, so.
I still like Carolina better. I think Philly's dealing with some injuries of their own on the defensive side, and it seems like every week Cam Newton gets just a little bit better at throwing the ball, get that shoulder. It's probably completely healed up by now. And it's going to be close with the weather and with the Funchess injury, but I do still like Carolina here.
Yeah, I mean, Philly +3. They've been hot this year, man. They've been looking really good. They looked great last week, for sure. Carolina, again, Cam Newton is looking better week to week. Could this definitely be a game that Philadelphia could lose to end this streak? Possibly, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think, honestly, they'll cover this spread, and I think they'll pull out a victory here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Carolina, the home team here. Like Justin said, I think Cam is playing better week to week. I think through 5 weeks during his MVP season, he actually has better numbers. It's just the team hasn't looked as great, to start the season. But I'm going to roll with Carolina here. I do think their defense is playing well despite the injury. Like I said, when Cam is at top form, he's top 5 in the league. So I'm going to roll with Carolina at home.
Fair enough.
All right. And that leads us into our slot of 1 o'clock Sunday games. We have New England going to the New York Jets. New England is a -5.5, implying that they would have to win by 10.
I'm going to go with the favorites again and take New England, even with the 9.5 minus. It's just one of those things where, I don't know, man, picking the Jets. I mean, granted, you could have won a couple picking the Jets,
Exactly.
But, Powell's limited. So, I don't know, Forte's still limited. The running backs are kind of shaky with the injuries they got going on there. And I don't know, man. I think 10 points is attainable for the Patriots.
At the moment, the Jets are still number 2 in this division. Tom Brady's looking at that pissed the hell off. I mean, they haven't looked like the Patriots of past. They've had some mistakes here and there. Definitely think the injury of Gronkowski definitely affects that offense more than some may believe. But I do see this as one of those games that I think the Patriots could bounce back and get the true Patriot form. I see Tom Brady going into the Meadowlands, having an amazing game. For the sake of my fantasy team and me beating my fiance this week, I'm going with the Patriots covering the spread.
I'm gonna surprise you guys. I'm gonna go with the Jets here.
You smoking dope.
I just think, despite how great Tom Brady can
Could
be,
it
this is something that he's never dealt with as far as just like insecurity on the offensive line. I mean, if you can't protect him and he only has a certain amount of time to throw, now we know Brady throws those quick short routes, but if you don't give him the decision or the choice to say whether I want to wait in the pocket or throw them, then I think they can be susceptible to a close game. Like I said, I still think New England wins. It may be maybe 28-20 or 27-20, something like that. But I'm going to take the Jets to cover here.
Okay, fair enough.
And that leads us into a AFC-NFC matchup at 1 o'clock in Atlanta. We have the Miami Dolphins going to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Miami is a -9 at home. We obviously know Atlanta just came off of a bye week. And Miami, there's still some questions with the quarterback. Did Jay Cutler really want to come back from retirement? Does he look like he even wants to play? So, Justin, Miami is +9 on the road.
I'm going to take Miami +9. I think that's a wide margin of safety given the two teams that are matched up. Matt Ryan has not been the same this year as he was last year, and I kind of anticipated that. You also look at the Dolphins have a pretty solid rush defense that could limit that running back duo the Falcons have. But it really just comes down to the +9 is too wide, and so I'm going to take the plus team there.
It is a pretty wide margin. I will agree with you on that. But it is Miami. And it is Atlanta at home. There's just something about Atlanta at home. I just don't see Miami walking into Atlanta even getting that many points, honestly. Again, Jay Cutler is a guy that would probably rather be watching these games than actually playing in them right now.
Or commentating.
Commentating. I mean, football just ain't for everybody, and it ain't for Jay Cutler right now. So I think Atlanta's really going to go off this week.
Yeah, I agree with Justin as far as their run defense is better than most. But I'm gonna call for a blowout game on this one. I just think Atlanta, coming off a bye, has had an extra week to prepare. Like you said, Matt Ryan hasn't been himself. I just don't think Miami has hardly enough offensive power to keep up with Atlanta, despite some of the injuries on Atlanta's defense. I think Atlanta just moves the ball at will on them, with it being at home. Like I said, extra bye week. I would even expect like 35-13 game. So I'm predicting blowout here.
Mm-hmm.
I do have Devontae Freeman on my fantasy team, so I'm hoping he gets some touchdowns.
Hoping for the best.
Right. Keep the winning streak going. So then it leads us into an NFC North matchup. We have Green Bay on the road in Minnesota. Minnesota just came off of a win against Chicago, beating Mitch Trubisky, the rookie.
And Green Bay came off a win in Dallas. Sorry, buddy. Happy birthday this week, though, by the way.
Appreciate it. Sunday. Birthday is on Sunday. I turn 25. Luckily, the Cowboys don't play on Sunday, so I can't be disappointed, but nor excited. But we'll see what happens. We just got word that Zeke's suspension couldn't come back into play.
We'll get to that in a bit, though.
Could get back to that at the end of the video. But Green Bay on the road in Minnesota. Minnesota is a +4 at home. Justin.
I don't like picking against Green Bay. I mean, I know it's a divisional rival game and they're not the home team, but I just have more faith in Aaron Rodgers, honestly, getting this done. So it's close, and it's not a wide spread, but I'm going to go Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. It's been said time and time again. And what he did in Dallas, he knows firsthand.
Twice.
Sorry, buddy. You were home from work, actually, then, weren't you?
Yeah, I caught about second quarter on, so.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, he's playing like a man possessed, honestly. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's probably better than Brady, honestly. Pound for pound, I'm going to say it. And I think that this is a divisional game. It's going to be a tough one. But I think Aaron Rodgers is enough to win this game. Simply put, Green Bay is looking decent. They don't have much of a run game, really. But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is doing it. And he can run, so. I think people really underestimate that aspect of him.
Yeah, I mean, and when you look at it, like you said, I personally, just individually looking at it from a skill standpoint, I do think Aaron Rodgers is better. I just think he has the worst coach and the worst personnel. Brady has the better system. He's been in it longer. He's a better coach, arguably one of the best coaches of all time. But some people believe in certain religions. Some people believe in Aaron Rodgers. And certain things you can't go against. 4 is not huge. You tell me Aaron Rodgers just has to score a touchdown to win the game. I'm going to take Green Bay all day. I don't care if it's in Minnesota or where it's at. But like I said, until somebody shows me otherwise, of an injury, of just some type of deterioration on Aaron Rodgers, I can't go against him at all. Mm-hmm. Especially now with this small of a spread. Then it leads us into an NFC matchup. We have the San Francisco 49ers going on the road into Washington, D.C. Now, Washington Redskins are a -9 at home. Justin. It's a big spread.
That's a huge spread.
It's such a big spread for this, and I actually am starting the Washington defense against Marlin in fantasy this week.
Okay.
But
okay.
But with that,
you can just hope for a low-scoring game.
A San Fran matchup.
It's against San Fran.
But still, I'll take San Fran +9 anyway, because the thing is, that's a wide spread given the two teams we're looking at here. I mean, it's not like you got. Washington's not an elite team, right? So
no.
So +9, I'll take my chances with San Fran.
Yeah, Washington coming off a bye week, rested. San Francisco is San Francisco, but 9-point spread.
It's big.
It's huge. It's almost a trap. I mean, I don't see. It's going to be I don't think it's going to be a close game, but it's is how wide of a margin is going to be. I can see Washington winning by a touchdown. That I can give them. But I don't see 9 points. I mean, it's just too many variables out there to really say for sure that DC is going to win by 9 points. So I'm going to pick San Francisco to just simply because I don't Washington's going to cover the spread, honestly. So I'm just going to go San Fran.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Washington to win the game straight up. But San Fran with a +9, I mean, I think this is going to be a type of game where Washington may be winning by 10 or maybe even 12 at the end of the game. And San Fran just drives down the field, scores like a garbage TD, tries to get an onside kick to where they can end up covering the spread in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. So I'm going to roll with San Fran here. Like I said, it is large. I was expecting something smaller, maybe like 6.5, 7. But, I'm going to roll with San Fran on the road here. Washington did just come off of a bye, but they do have injury concerns on the defensive end. If you remember, Josh Norman got banged up. I believe he's out for a couple weeks with some broken ribs. One of the other defensive linemen got injured. So there are some backup players that are going to be playing that, like I said, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think San Fran can cover. So that leads us into another 1 o'clock game. We have the Chicago Bears, who just came off a loss at home to the Minnesota Vikings. Mitch Trubisky's first start. He did throw a pick at the end to lose the game. But Chicago is a +6.5 in Baltimore. So the Ravens are -6.5 at home. Justin, how do you feel about this one? Baltimore just came off of a win against Oakland. So,
I'm going to roll with Baltimore again. They're at home. It's a rookie quarterback. The Bears haven't shown a whole lot this year. It's not that hard of a pick for me, honestly. Going Baltimore, they got to win by a touchdown. I think they'll do it.
Yeah, I made a mistake last week. I'm gonna be real with you. I made a mistake. Yeah.
At least you admitted it.
I can admit when I'm wrong. It's easy to admit when you're wrong.
I'm never wrong, but
you're always wrong when you pick Dallas. But anyway,
I can't pick him this week.
I know. So this week you're actually
I picked him to not lose.
All right.
I'm right already.
Till next week when we have to discuss that. But I picked them not to cover the spread last week. They did great. They almost lost it in the end, but it is what it is. They're going to eat this rookie quarterback alive.
I was going to say that.
Filet mignon. Eat the rookie alive. Just medium rare. Suggs is hungry. That defensive line is hungry. The DBs are going to pick out the ball more time than we can count. The boy, he ain't going to win. He's not even going to remotely win. This spread, I think it might be even too small. For sure, the Ravens are going to win. I don't know how the offense is going to do it. Maybe that's why the spread's so low. Don't know how the offense is going to do. I'm still on that. But for sure, the defense is going to eat in Chicago. I don't know how bear meat tastes, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty delicious. They'll find out this week.
That was arguably one of your worst jokes ever. But I do think...
I want to fight you.
I do think Baltimore does win this game easily, maybe even by 10. Like you said, when I watched Mitch Trubisky Monday night against the Vikings, their playbook was very small. Obviously, as a rookie quarterback, it would be, but it's a condensed version, and I just think that it's going to exploit it, or Baltimore's defense will exploit it. They'll be able to bring in different blitz packages and disguise some schemes. So I do think Baltimore covers very easy, maybe even by 10 points. Plus, with it being in Baltimore, I think it's an easy wrap-up, so...
honestly, I would say Baltimore gets a blowout if it wasn't for Flacco and the offense not doing so hot. But that's the one X factor here is that Ravens offense going to not show up? But regardless, I'm still picking them.
I think Gerald made a good point to that. I think that's why the spread may be lower than we thought because their offense has some questions. If Joe Flacco's clicking, it might be like an 8 or 9.
I mean, there's definitely hints of that 2000 Ravens where pretty much the defense had to carry the team.
Well, that's like in the first 2 weeks, but we all saw what happened in London. But anyway,
where's your team?
So we'll go. They have a bye week, so we'll go to the next NFC game. We have the Detroit Lions, who just came off of a loss against the Carolina Panthers, going to New Orleans. Detroit is a +3 on the road. Justin,
I'll go with Detroit +3. I think these teams, they match up pretty close. Lions have the better defense, though, and I also feel like whenever you're talking about playing the Saints, it's not that hard to get your offense going against their defense. So, +3, decent margin of safety for what you're getting here. I'm going to go with Detroit.
Yeah, of course. I'm going with the Lions, too. I actually like the Lions, obviously because one of my favorite defensive linemen are on their team. Go BYU. But I think, honestly, he's going to get after. I think the defense is honestly going to get after this offense. And for sure, Detroit is going to pick up an away victory.
I said this week, too, and I was wrong. I'm saying it again. Drew Brees will win this game. This is going to be a shootout. I don't care what anybody says. This is going to be in the 40s. Drew Brees will win this game.
Really?
And I think with Adrian Peterson gone, there is no running back controversy. Mark Ingram's going to get everything, and Kamara's going to get some other touches. But there's no more controversy. Adrian Peterson isn't crying about touches. He's in Arizona now. Drew Brees will light the Detroit Lions up. Light them up.
I'm not so sure about that.
Light them up. I'm guessing 45-31.
Man, you're high. Whatever. Let's keep it going.
That's my bold prediction of the week. We should start doing
really
that.
Bold prediction.
We should start doing that. A bold prediction of the week.
All right,
that is my bold prediction.
That is yours.
Drew Brees wins by 2 touchdowns at home.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think that's going to happen one bit.
We'll see. So then we have the Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns going to Houston. Houston is a -10.5 at home. Houston does have some injuries. Clowney did get banged up, as well as J.J. Watt is out for the year. So their defense is a concern. But Cleveland on the road +10.5. Justin, how do you feel about this one?
Well, honestly, I like Houston and their offense in particular to have a big game. But the thing is, with 10.5-point spread, it's just so hard for me to pick the -10.5 on that. It really is, especially with J.J. Watt hurt. I don't know, man. Houston can win by 10, and that's still not enough. So I'm gonna go Cleveland +10.5.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you got so many injuries to Houston's defense. I mean, J.J. Watt being out. I mean, he's literally the anchor of that defense. Now, again, this is Cleveland's offense. Not that good. But they did show a little bit of life, giving my boy Njoku fantasy points. Hoping for another big game for him, but I don't think they're going to win. I think they keep it close, and I think, honestly, I'm going with Cleveland here. They at least cover it.
Yeah, I think Cleveland covers it. I think they may lose by 8 or 10. I do think it's a low-scoring game again. I do like Myles Garrett on Cleveland. He did come back.
Yeah.
Played really well his first game. But, yeah, I mean, it's just a large spread. Like Justin said, the injuries to the defense. I mean, despite having DeAndre Hopkins in the running game, I just think that Cleveland finds a way to keep it within 9 to 10 points.
Fair enough.
All right. Then we have Tampa Bay going to Arizona. Now, I did state that I wasn't picking Arizona. Justin called me out. I picked Arizona last week, and they got demolished by the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to start here with my pick. I'm just going to pick the Bucks. Screw the Cardinals. Screw everything about them. I do have Fitzgerald. I just hope he gets one touchdown and then just goes out of the game. But I'm going to pick the Buccaneers here. Like I said, Arizona is just terrible on defense. I thought that they were better than what they were, but
they got
Philly
demolished.
lit them up.
What was it, 21 points in the first quarter?
In the first quarter. Carson Wentz threw 3 TDs in the first quarter. And it's just like, as a defense, very deflating. When they lost Calais Campbell, when they lost one of their other linebackers for the year to another team, it just raised some questions. But I'm going to go with Tampa here, especially in a pick'em game. You only get to me, I win by 1 point. I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah, pick'em game, I'm also going Tampa. It's just Arizona. Yeah, they got Adrian Peterson in a trade. So what? He's past his prime. They have no offensive line to block for him. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? And as was said, problems on the defense that they didn't have in prior years. And honestly, the offense is just too old. It's too old now, all right? So yeah, I like Tampa Bay here a lot better.
You know, some would say this would have been the best offense in 2009 if Arizona had somehow had
read that
Carson
post.
Palmer. I posted it, actually.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer.
I didn't like it.
Fitzgerald, you're petty. AP. But I honestly, to split it, I'm just going to say, bold prediction, AP goes off. I'm just going to say it.
Well, he'll be going off of my bench, and I'm not starting.
That's bold because,
you're
telling me he's had 6 or 7 days to practice with a new team. Okay, that's your bold prediction for the week.
Hey, I'm going with that. That's what I'm going to say. I'm this guy. I'm actually going to say Arizona covers that. Just to split decision here and get me continue my victory.
Well, it's a pick'em game, so
it's a pick'em. So only got to win by 1. So there you go.
All right. Well, we got a couple games to choose from. Justin is still yet to give his bold prediction. Now, you can also say it's about a player. Like if you think a quarterback's going to throw for 5 touchdowns or a great quarterback's going to have a terrible game, you can also do that. But we have Justin's L.A. Rams going to Jacksonville. It's another pick'em. Straight up. Justin, how do you feel about your own team?
Not too good, to be honest. Not too good because the Rams in the first couple weeks were playing really weak defenses. Okay? And the Jacksonville, I've been on record saying, has the best defense in the league. I really believe that. Look at all the defensive touchdowns they've got, and look at how they went into Pittsburgh and just crushed them. All the Jacksonville has the blueprint, which is to simply ask Blake Bortles to do as little as possible and have the defense win them games. And pains me to say it, but I think they get it done here against my Rams.
Yeah, for sure. Jacksonville, I mean, just how they've just gone in and demolished teams, catching a lot of teams off guard. And I think that's what it really is. A lot of teams didn't really expect them to be this good. They were like, oh, it's Jacksonville. They haven't been good in ever. And now they're going into places like they're playing Baltimore and London, blowing them out. They're going to Pittsburgh. Into Pittsburgh. 5 interceptions. Come on, son. They're going to have a field day against the Rams.
Not to mention their defense outscoring Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Yeah, they're going to have a field day against the Rams. And they're at home? Yeah.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville as well. Like Justin said, I think they have the blueprint on how to win. I saw a couple posts online earlier today giving possible nicknames to the Jacksonville defense. A couple of them caught my eye. One was the Kitty Cat Lockdown. The other one was Saxonville. But my favorite was Pick-fil-A. I thought that was perfect. They were coming off a 5-pick game against Ben Roethlisberger, but
doesn't work because they shouldn't be open on Sundays.
That's a valid point. But I do like Jacksonville here. Now, I do like what Sean McVay is doing with the LA Rams. I think they are starting to click. I just think they're running into a very tough defense at the wrong time. Maybe later on the season if injury hits, or maybe if it was like first game of the season, I would say maybe Rams, but I just think with all cylinders clicking, I think Jacksonville takes it. Not easily. I think maybe by 4 or 7, but it's definitely going to be a defensive game.
Oh, yeah.
I think in order for the Rams to win, they're going to have to find a way to make Blake Bortles turn over the ball a lot. But I think the Jaguars being so conservative on offense now, like they're starting to get smart. Like they're starting to realize we got to work the running game. We can't just ask Bortles to throw it downfield all the time. So, and that's honestly, a lot of teams, a lot of people say it's a passing league now, but no, you can win without having an elite defense just running the ball.
And Leonard Fournette has been great this season to start.
Amazing.
But let's lead us into another AFC matchup, a 425 game. I don't know why this spread isn't larger, but we have Pittsburgh on the road in Kansas City at Arrowhead. Pittsburgh is a plus 3.5 on the road. Justin, how do you feel about this? Kansas City's 5-0.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City. It would have to be a wider spread for me to consider Pittsburgh, especially Roethlisberger coming off the 5-pick game. And my bold prediction for the week is that Roethlisberger throws more interceptions than touchdowns. Probably actually not that bold of a prediction, but whatever. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I'm going Kansas City too. It might be time for Pittsburgh to start looking for a new quarterback. I mean, again, Roethlisberger was looking at retirement before the season started. I think we're starting to see his age play a part here. And Kansas City, they've just been on fire. They've been something to mess with. So I think for sure Kansas City's defense is going to get after him. I think Alex Smith is going to have a great game.
Starting him in fantasy.
You're hoping for the best.
He did have a great game that won me last week, but okay.
And their defense, I'm starting the defense, obviously. And so I need them to have a great game. And, oh, my God, they could have a field day with this one. I just got really excited. But, no, I'm going Kansas City, definitely. They're at home. They're in Arrowhead. Yeah, it's a lock.
I mean, Kansas City at home, minus 3.5, that's nothing. 24-20 covers it, but I don't think Pittsburgh even puts up that many points. I just think Kansas City, while you say Jacksonville has the blueprint on defense, these guys have the blueprint on offense. Alex Smith, who I thought at the beginning of the year or end of last year was just a game manager, get his team to the playoffs and eventually lose because they can't throw the ball downfield. He's doing the exact opposite this year. The run game with Kareem Hunt is opening that up. I mean, he's finding Travis Kelce. He's finding all these other receivers down the field. Plus, I mean, when you throw in, he's doing the exact same offense that he's doing when he had at Utah. It's funny how the game comes back around. He came into from college, from Utah, doing zone reads, and then he comes in and he's a pocket passer in Arizona. And all of a sudden, he's coming back. He's doing the same exact thing. So I think this is what he's comfortable with. Andy Reid is the perfect coach for him. It's just too much for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, like I said, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far of Ben Roethlisberger. I do say they need to clean house with the coaching. I think Mike Tomlin needs to go. There's been complaints in the locker room with certain players say they're too predictable. So I think Tomlin would have to go before anybody else.
Man.
All right, so we have another AFC matchup, West Coast. This one doesn't have a spread, I'm guessing, at the moment, so we're just going to do a pick'em game. We have LA Chargers going to Oakland. Justin. Oakland.
So
Derek Carr did say he's playing this week.
And they're at home.
Yeah, that makes this actually tough to call for me. Because if Derek Carr comes back, and the Chargers don't have that great of a run defense is the other thing, so
beast mode.
The run game gets going. But it's also, do you think Carr is going to be 100% on his first game
that's also a question.
So that's the big question mark, and I'm going to say no. I'll go with the Chargers.
Wow. Yeah, Oakland at home. I mean, Derek Carr is the X factor here. Is he going to be healthy? Probably not 100%, but whatever they did last week, it ain't going to work this week. So they need to change something up. I think, honestly, the LA Chargers, they got lucky against the Giants. Let's be honest here. It was two winless teams. I don't think they're going to win this week. And it's a pick 'em right now. I'm going with Oakland. Oakland at home? Yeah. They're the better team, even with an injured Carr.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Oakland here. I think like a 60 to 75% Derek Carr with that offense is better than a Phillip Rivers on the other side of the ball. I think Marshawn Lynch is gonna have a big game. You mentioned LA's run defense. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be a wide game or even a high scoring game, but I do think Oakland can win at home. Derek Carr's first game back, and like I said, there's no spread at this point, so I'm just going off of feeling. So I'm going to go with Oakland at home.
There you go.
All right. Now it leads us into our Sunday night game, which I have another bold prediction for. The winless New York Giants going to Denver, Mile High Stadium. We have Denver -9 at home. Justin, how do you feel about this one?
Honestly, if the Giants had Odell Beckham still healthy, I'd probably pick him in this situation. But without that playmaker, they don't have much on their offense anymore. They already didn't have a run game, and even with the +9, I mean, they're going into the Mile High Stadium, folks. They're going into the Mile High Stadium, and they don't have Odell. So I'm gonna take Denver.
Yeah. Wow, you were really. Man, I need
Gerald just wants you to advise him before you yell.
I need your energy right now, and also a slight warning. But nonetheless, the Giants are on life alert at this moment.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
They can't get up. There's no way they're going to be able to get up. Especially against Denver in the Mile High Stadium. Yeah, so I'm going with Denver here, honestly. I just don't see... Nothing the Giants are doing is working. We gave the Chargers a victory, man. Man, the Chargers can't even give themselves a victory in practice. Man, nah, man. Just Denver, home, it's a wrap.
This is the easiest pick of the week for me. I mean, you tell me that an Odell-less New York Giants have to go and face those cornerbacks and that defense? The no-fly zone, that's not gonna happen. You tell me Sterling Shepard and Ingram and their tight end Ingram is gonna have to step up. There's no way in hell they're gonna win this game.
None.
Denver wins by 15, maybe even 20. I think Eli throws at least 2 picks. It's just gonna be so hectic, especially with their offensive line. Von Miller might get 2-3 sacks, but the bold prediction for this game is gonna decide Ben McAdoo's future. Ben McAdoo gets fired before the end of the year is over.
Whoa.
You're talking about going 0-6 to start the year. I don't care if you got hurt. What happened in the first 5 games? They need to clean house. They need to get him out of there. The problem was when they got rid of Tom Coughlin, they hired within, so the culture stayed the same. You still have Steve Spagnuolo on the defensive side, and you hired all these individual guys to play defense. You know, while they can be good individually, I don't think they play great team defense. But I do think Ben McAdoo is out before the season's up. If not out before the season up, as soon as the season ends. Before they seal up the number 1 draft pick.
If that soon. If that late.
I just think he has no shot to stay as the coach. But
None.
And there's plenty of other coaches that are out there that are just way better as far as personnel-wise and coaching-wise. But that'll lead us into our Monday night game. We have a AFC South matchup. We have the Indianapolis Colts going to Tennessee. Again, there's no spread currently on it. It might be a pick'em game. We're going to do it as a pick'em game. So, Indy, Tennessee. Justin, how do you feel?
I'm going to roll with Tennessee here at home in this pick'em. You know, it could end up closer than we expect, but I just feel like Tennessee is the better team right now. You know, until Colts get Andrew Luck back fully healthy, it's tough for me to pick them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I think Indianapolis is going to win without Andrew Luck. If Andrew Luck even stays after this season, honestly. But that's a different episode. Now, I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one. There's no spread yet, but we're taking it as a pick'em game. Yeah, Tennessee with the victory here.
Indy is going to win this game.
Away?
Justin shocked. I don't care.
Are you high?
I don't care. Tennessee's defense
we drug test for LitTube?
Tennessee's defense is banged up. The question's at the quarterback position. Who's going to throw the ball?
Oh, man.
Who's going to throw the ball? And I just think Indy, I just think they're able to get it done. There's no spread. If they were minus some points, I wouldn't have taken them. But just straight up, I think they'll get it done. A couple of the games that they did win, it was in overtime by a field goal. So if you're telling me they just got to win by that, I'm going to roll with them.
That's true, but I'm not picking them.
All right, so that seals it up for this week 6.
Yeah.
We have a couple teams obviously on bye. That's why they haven't been featured. But
let's talk about that a little bit. A couple of those teams, especially the Ezekiel Elliott situation. Let's take a couple of seconds and talk about that.
Yeah, so they just brought it back up. They brought it back up to where there's a possibility that after the bye, he can be suspended for those 6 games. Now, obviously, there's talks of Zeke and his legal team and the NFLPA could file another claim or another motion to dismiss it or prolong it to where it could be done after the season is already over. We should know by maybe even tomorrow as far as like the final word on it, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's tough because Dallas right now at 2-3, and their schedule only gets harder. You got to go to Kansas City. You got to play Philly. I believe
You played Washington Redskins.
they played Washington without them.
49ers, you're going to have a win.
Yeah, they played the 49ers. But, I mean, still some solid defenses, and it's just the wrong time for him to get suspended. And like I said, that defense isn't getting any better at all. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated and informed on the suspension and the process. But
yeah. And, again, happy birthday to you.
Appreciate it.
Birthday's coming up, 25.
Yeah, man, I'm getting old, man.
I wish I was a kid.
Quarter of a century.
I wish I was still a kid.
Next thing you know, it'll be doctor's appointments and medication, man. I'm not looking forward to that.
I'm already there. Almost 30. Anyways, again, happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
Great episode. Thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you for all the support. We really appreciate it. We had a good amount of views last week, and we hope that you are tuning in this week for the same coverage. On behalf of LitTube, I'm Gerald, this is Justin, and this is Chris. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and also check out the links for breast cancer awareness, some of the charities that we are supporting and posting on the videos every week this month. Take care. He was like, how's your poopy team doing? I was so fucking angry, he couldn't even cuss
He
at me.
did come to work the next day, he was like, yo, he walked up to the mess, he was like, yo, Justin just said poopy on social media.
Justin's lost all his marbles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are they going to start broadcasting my tweets on MSNBC like they do now? What do I give a shit?
Yo, I didn't know. Yo, Justin's funny as shit when we do these videos because when he said talking about the Bills, but the best part it was the same game when he was talking. He was like, I'm benching Andy Dalton in both leagues. He was like, he's gonna absolutely shit the bed. Or no, he said he's gonna play like ass. Wait. But on LitTube, he can say ass, shit the bed. But on Twitter, he says poopy.
Yeah, it was poopy on Twitter.
You need to universalize your slogan.
Yeah.